hope you're having an enjoyable time and hopefully an educational time in listening to the 820 podcast. Hopefully the titles did interest you as you come across them in the sea of different podcasts out there that would encourage you to take some time to see what this guy's talking about. Well, first of all, what's 820? And some of the titles are intriguing. I hope they are. This one will probably be in that category either as controversial or problematic. Because again, by nature or just by chance, I happen to offer questions and observations that might not be in that so-called mainstream, but just on a topic we all know about, and maybe many of us are going to be isolated to the margins or respective corners on something like this. But let's give it a shot today. This is just a question about how the God, or even the smaller gods out here, how he loves, how we love. How does a God love? I was driving the other day and saw this billboard. It just said this: "For he loved the world so much." And of course, I think they quoted, John 3:16. But anyway, they didn't have it on the billboard. But it said this: "For he loved the world so much." We all can infer what it means by that, given the propensity to restate the story of Jesus and the prophetic Jesus and what's happened and our sins and all that kind of stuff. But okay, I'm just asking a question. When I read that, and maybe that's how my mind wanders on an innocuous statement like that or billboard, I tend to dive into that and look into it, observe through that. So I'm thinking they're referencing the Lord of the worlds, according to the Bible and the Quran. The Lord of the worlds, the King of kings, the worlds, plural, the universes, the stars, the galaxies, other planets, other galaxies. So it pushed me or guided me to this kind of question, this questioning. My question was, so he loved only this world? And because we live here on this rock, and we all know a bit about this one where we live. But what do we know about other worlds, other planets, other galaxies? I guess collectively we're making the assumption that he loved this world only. And to me, that conclusion is a bit circular and myopic in logic. I'm not questioning the creator of you and I, and on this rock we happen to live physically. I'm just questioning that proclamation as end all be all across all the worlds, all the galaxies, all the planets. So if he so loved this world, say that's true, do we know that he loved other worlds less or more than the one where we currently reside? Do we know what he did for, in this case, Neptune or Jupiter or other worlds, other galaxies that we don't even know about? Hypothetically, if there exists other entities, kind of like you and I, but different on or in another world, I would think they could truly counter that proclamation about he loved this world so much. They might have a different perspective or argument and a different proclamation about the love they received for their planet, their world, their galaxy. I know it's a bit out there. I'm just saying, I'm just spitballing here about that statement about he loved this world so much. Just maybe with some crazy coincidence, I started to go down this side of logic about other worlds that he cared about and loved. And maybe it can just be a cocktail or a social happy hour conversation one day, and away from the consistent and constant political drama that's happening all around us. Maybe it's something you would want to get into, but maybe this is a social discussion. You can, bat that around a bit and see what you come up with. But let's put that to the side as far as the, metaverse is out there. Let's take this a different perspective about he who loved this world so much. Let's make it more personal now to you and I. So, what about me and my world and you and your world? How much do you love your world? What are you willing to sacrifice and to prove your love for your world? However you define it, how you have produced it. And remember, that statement on the beginning of this discussion today, for he who loved the world so much, put yourself in that image and listen to that statement. For you who love your world, what are you willing to do about that to protect it? Are you willing to die for it? If that's true, and another jump in your consideration, if you would take what Mr. Anderson said in the 3 Magic Words book, he said then, you are God. He said it in his book. So then, given that context, pose those questions to yourself. Make it personal and away from the biblical Quranic observations or Talmud, whatever you use for your reference as far as spiritually and religiously. Take that away. Make it personal. I submit to you that before you answer those questions, use the measure, the methodology, the metric of that constant love that each of us receives so many times a minute, an hour, in a day. We get that every single moment. I would think we should love our world, ones that we produce personally, that much. If that's the measure we get as far as the love we receive, how much love are we willing to protect, to sustain, and what are we willing to sacrifice to sustain that world? Are you willing to sacrifice that constant love that much for your world? I know these observations I'm sharing with you are a bit off the beaten path, but I would hope if you had a chance to review or look at or listen to other episodes in the 820 Enterprise, you've heard my recitation of the 6 Tamil words, go, ask no question, and die, and the Stoic memento mori statement about remember to die. I hope that makes it a little more clear about why I say that and how it's relevant to about how much you should love your world and what you're willing to sacrifice for it. Just saying. Well, hopefully you enjoy that. Until next time, stay present, stay current. It will always be 820.